Wilder versus Fury has its referee announced, especially after a controversial decision from the referee in the first Wilder Fury fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel when you guys use that. So bundle ESPN Plus, Hulu Plus, or Hulu and Disney Plus, $12.99 for all three apps. One low price for all three. Let's get it. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. What can I say? Not much needs to be said. First fight was an instant classic. This is a meaningful fight. In my opinion, it establishes the #1 heavyweight champion of the world. It is also for the WBC green belt. The coveted green belt has been in boxing. Tons of lineage, tons of great former fighters have had that belt. And all in all, it's just a great fight. I'm happy the fight happened. There was some delays. Wilder was pressing for an immediate rematch. Tyson Fury signed a top rank in ESPN. And obviously they had a different course of action, and they put him in some tune-up style fights. Wilder did take the harder schedule, fighting his mandatory Dominic Breazeale, who he had personal disdain for based on a past altercation that him and his brother had. And then he fought Luis Ortiz, very risky, knowing he had the fighter or the fight signed with Tyson Fury, and he chose anyway to clean up his work and prove that he could beat Luis Ortiz. And, you know, just show the world that. Now, here we have it, Wilder Fury 2. Now, they have announced the official judges. Wilder's not really a person that really goes to the judges, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the video with that because I do think Wilder wins this fight. But one thing that is important, I would say, is the referee. The referee they have selected for Wilder Fury 2 is Kenny Bayless. Kenny Bayless is an excellent choice for a fight like this. I think Kenny Bayless is the right man. Kenny Bayless is definitely one of the, top referees that they use in these big fights. Wilder's last fight with Luis Ortiz, the referee was Kenny Bayless. And when despite Luis Ortiz winning, I was at that fight. But despite Luis Ortiz winning the rounds, as soon as he got knocked down, he tried to get up, and Kenny Bayless rightfully counted him out. And I thought it was funny because, Wilder's had some guys like Dominic Breazeale, Luis Ortiz, and obviously Tyson Fury that tried to beat the count, try to get up and stuff like that. True warriors, warrior mentality, fighter instinct. And Fury's the only one that got up from the count. I do think that Fury getting up from the count was aided with the decision, an executive decision from Jack Reiss. Jack Reiss, because if you really watch the fight, there's somebody on the side of the ring, ringside, doing the official count. And if you were to count with them, Tyson Fury's really getting up, really what would be like 9, 10-ish, and he's not even fully up. You know what I'm saying? Let alone when you do get up, when you do beat the count, normally the referee will say, hey, come to me, walk this way, walk this way. So Jack Reiss has been making some weird decisions. He didn't give KSI, when they did that YouTube fight, KSI didn't get credit for a knockdown. I don't know how he missed that. And then Logan Paul dropped KSI and then hit him with an illegal blow while he was a downed opponent, and he took 2 points, And then I think it was last week they had a card, and Jack Reiss, the guy was winning the whole fight, boxing the whole fight, and then the opponent was trying, it was supposed to it was on the Caleb Plant card. And basically in the final, I think it was the 10th and final round, the guy got dropped twice. And then I guess Jack Reiss didn't like what he seen when he was walking. And there was 1 second on the left on the clock. And the dude that got dropped, all he had to do is beat Jack Reiss's count, and then the fight would have been over. Jack Reiss stopped it, so the other person won by knockout. I thought that was highly questionable. given everything considered. He let Tyson Fury continue versus Wilder, and he dropped like a sack of potatoes. The other guy was clearly hurt, and he even got dropped twice. But, how's Jack Reiss going to say I did it for boxing for Tyson Fury, but this other dude, he's winning the whole fight handily, boxed well, got in some danger in the final round, and you stop it with 1 second. I thought that was a little bit, it's just too extreme, It's too extreme. 1 second. It's like almost like the referee is trying to be. I don't like when I feel like a referee, you should almost feel like the referee's not even there, And then Jack Reiss has had some recent fights where, he's there, just weird decision making, like the KSI Logan Paul, the 1 second fight on the Caleb Plant undercard, Wilder Fury. So it is what it is. There's another, I can't think of what fight it was, but there's another recent, if you guys can remember, there was another Jack Reiss moment where it was just like a questionable call. Like I forgot what he did. But it was just something not too long ago, and Jack Reiss made another questionable call. I'm like, are you serious? Like, is that really how you decided to do it? So I knew he wasn't going to get the assignment for this particular fight because, there probably was a protest. There would have been a protest, at least from Wilder's team, if he was, because Wilder feels that it was a biased decision. I mean, Jack Reiss told you, he was already on record and saying I did it for boxing, and basically I made an emotional decision. The good thing about Kenny Bayless is, I like both refs, but I'm just telling you what it is. The good thing with Kenny Bayless is he's reffed high profile fights, and I don't recall any recent like standout moments where he just made an emotional decision. Canelo knocked out Amir Khan. Amir Khan was winning that fight to me. Amir Khan easily won the first 4 rounds. 5th round probably shade to Canelo, and then he got knocked out in the 6th round. But the way Canelo knocked Amir Khan out, and he was just out. His eyes were open. Kenny Bayless seen it, and he was like, nah, it's over. And I thought that was the right call. Like, why even administer a count? Same thing with Jack Reiss versus in the fight Wilder versus Fury. Why would you even be administering a count when you see Tyson Fury clearly unconscious for the first 4-5 seconds? It don't matter what you thought he was doing in the other round. He's not even really fully to his feet by 10. So I thought that was kind of weird from Jack Reiss. But Kenny Bayless, I'm just thinking of fights that I know he did Mayweather Maidana, one of those fights, and Maidana bit Floyd, I think, in that fight. Kenny Bayless did a good job of like trying to see what was going on. I think he maybe even took a point from Maidana, so good officiating there. Another one that comes to mind is the infamous Juan Manuel Marquez when he knocked out Pacquiao in the 4th fight. It don't matter how good Pacquiao had been. Pacquiao, it was a close competitive fight, but Pacquiao had the momentum at that given moment. But he did that stutter step and tried to feint, and Marquez just caught him with that right hand. Kenny Bayless made a great executive decision. And like I said, Wilder's most recent fight, Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz tried to get back up, but Kenny Bayless did an awesome job of doing what, Jack Reiss should have did, and that's count the opponent out. Because you got to look at it like the Jack Reiss, you don't put your fighter or the fighter that you're in charge of, you're almost like babysitting, daddy daycare. I feel like it's not right to put the fighter in with a nefarious puncher like Wilder, and you just don't put him back in there when he got dropped in the 9th round. Then he gets slept and knocked unconscious. Wilder said he's seen his eyes rolling in the back of his head. So if he's seen that, Jack Reiss getting low and trying to count, and he probably woke Tyson Fury back up. So it made for great TV, but I just think all in all, Jack Reiss didn't really follow the rules of what he should have did, which is to protect the fighter. There's certain rules in boxing. Protect yourself at all times, and if you can't protect yourself, then ultimately it's up to your team or the ref. The ref is the real person, but your team can also throw in the towel to protect for you, because there was no guarantee that Tyson Fury was going to be able to fight back, even though he did do it it's just too big of a gamble that you probably wouldn't see most referees take. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it all worked out for Tyson Fury, but we ultimately don't know if he's even the same fighter. And because of this climactic ending, he's about to fight this big puncher yet again. And, you know, ultimately we'll get to see. But I feel like Wilder has too much power. You got to protect the fighter. Dominic Breazeale, he rose to his feet. I was at that fight as well. He rose to his feet, but it wouldn't be safe to allow him to keep fighting like that, you know? And it all played out how it was supposed to, but I just feel like Jack Reiss dropped the ball there. So Kenny Bayless, he's usually on the money. I can't think of any controversial endings that he's had recently. He's definitely done high-profile fights like the ones I mentioned and several others. He's definitely done a lot of fights in Vegas, so I'm looking forward to it. I think they did a great job selecting the commission. Nevada State Athletic Commission did a great job selecting a great referee, and he usually don't let his feelings get in the way. You know what I mean? He's gonna protect the fighter more than, oh, I'm gonna do it for boxing and have this Undertaker moment and all that. So I think it's definitely a good referee. But the other thing is this: I don't think Wilder would make the same mistake twice. If he does get Fury in the same predicament, you know, I think the first fight was really a rare occurrence. Wilder's used to sleeping people and hurting them so badly where they're debilitated. We don't know how Tyson Fury got up. It was divine intervention, whatever. So I think by that time the adrenaline has started to leave Wilder's body because he really thought it was over, you know. But knowing that Tyson Fury had the resilience to bounce back, I highly, highly doubt that if given the same situation, Wilder's not going to be a little bit more calculated, you know, go immediately to the neutral corner and be waiting and, you know, not wipe the sweat off his forehead and thinking it's over until it's over. You know, it's kind of like one of those Jamie Lee Curtis, one of those slasher movies like Halloween, where Jamie Lee Curtis thinks she killed Michael Myers, and then she goes and sits on the bed and stays in the house, and then you see the Michael Myers body in the background. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is like thinking it's all over, and you see Michael Myers rise up in the background while she's in the foreground, and he's not dead. You know what I'm saying? So that it was a moment like that. But again, if you went through a moment like that where you knocked Michael Myers onto the ground, thought he was dead, and then he stood up and re-emerged or whatever, and you left the knife right by him like they do in the horror movies. If you somehow got in that same position and, you know, got out of that situation and then it happened again, you're unless you're dumb, I feel like you're gonna learn from the first time that happened. You're not gonna leave the knife right by him and stay in the house. You're gonna learn from your mistakes. So ultimately, it was a learning curve for Wilder, and, you know, we'll see. But beyond that, I don't know if Fury can take a shot from Wilder either, you know, because he hasn't fought a puncher like Wilder since Wilder. So a lot to be answered on Saturday. I think they did a good job, like I said, with the referee selection. I'm happy. Let me know what you guys think of Kenny Bayless. You know, you can drop in your comments about your favorite Kenny Bayless fights that he's officiated. Good choice. We should have a good fight February 22nd. Fox and ESPN pay-per-view. Let's get it. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.